Well, let's start from the beginning. At 8:41 this morning, we received a phone call from a homeowner and indicating that there was an intruder inside the house. Our dispatch put the call out as a burglary in progress. Once our officers arrived, they confronted the perpetrator still inside the house. At some point, a struggle took place where the suspect attacked one of our officers, stabbing him multiple times throughout his body. At least another responding officer shot at the suspect in an attempt to stop the stabbing. I know that the suspect was shot at least one time. He has been transported to a local hospital where his last condition is being listed as stable. The officer that was stabbed, he has been rushed to the hospital as well. He is also listed as stable. So right now, the GBI has been requested to help us investigate the officer involved shooting, and we're also, our detectives are investigating the burglary that took place, as well as the aggravated assault on the officer. It should be noted that minutes prior to that call, other residents in this area contacted us, also letting us know of a burglar inside their home. So we believe that this person burglarized multiple homes this morning. So right now, I'll have more information on that later, but we do know that other calls were received prior to this homeowner. That's why our officers were so quick to respond, because they were already in the vicinity investigating those burglaries.
Where was the officer stabbed?
I know that he was stabbed multiple times on the head, on the chest, and I don't know anywhere else, but at least those two areas.
So radio traffic talked about how the suspect had shotgun wounds. Did one of the officers fire a shotgun? That's what the radio traffic said.
I don't want to say, I don't know what weapon. I was under the impression that it was his service weapon. I'll have to double check on that. It might have been, but I can't confirm. I was under the impression that it was the service weapons being used. Another officer was also injured during the struggle. I don't know if a bullet ricocheted and hit his hand, but he was treated, and I believe he has been released. So in total, 2 officers were injured, one with stab wounds. He's listed as stable. The second officer was injured as a result of the shots being fired.
When you talk about the other homes being burglarized, was anything taken, or was the suspect just going in and out of the home?
I don't know that information yet. I just learned about the burglaries as I was being briefed. As you know, this is still developing right now, so as soon as I get more information on the other burglaries, I'll let you know so we can have more context on what happened.
And was this suspect going through the neighborhood on foot, or was he actually driving a vehicle of some sort?
That's something else that I'll have to find out. I don't know if there's a vehicle associated, but it looks like he might have been on foot, but I'll confirm that with you.
Do you know about how many homes, like 2 or 4? Or?
They just said multiple homes. I don't know, yeah.
Can you talk about the interaction with this homeowner at this last house? Because we heard he maybe was in there for a while, and did he arm himself with just like a knife from the kitchen, or how it happened? Or
we don't know. It happened so quickly. Once the first officer arrived, the suspect just ran at him with the sharp object. I'm not sure if it was a knife that he brought with him or if it was a knife that he got from the home.
There are reports that he was dressed head to toe in camo and tactical gear. Can you confirm that?
That I don't know. I'll confirm that later. I don't know. All I know about the suspect is that he is in his early 20s, and it's believed to be a white male.
Connected to this area or this neighborhood? Or?
We don't know that yet.
And the suspect never confronted any of the homeowners?
That I'll have to confirm with you. I'll get back with you.
Do you know where he was found in this last residence here?
I know that most of the incident happened inside in the living room area. That's where the struggle, that's where the shooting, and that's where the stabbing took place.
In the living room?
Yes.
So when he went to these other houses and allegedly burglarized some other homes, were these homes, was anybody in those homes, or were they not there at the time?
I will get you a definite answer, but I believe they were home. That's why it was so early in the morning. That's why they contacted us, but I will get you an answer for sure. but I believe they were home, and that's why they contacted us, and that's why it came in as a burglary in progress.
What did the apprehension of the suspect look like? Was it just that he was shot and then he was taken into custody?
Yes, he was. After the struggle, he was shot. The stabbing stopped. Officers rendered aid to him, and then he was taken into custody and transported to a hospital.
Did he use his knife or a knife that was inside the home?
I just answered that, but we don't know. Again, as it happened so quickly, once the first officer arrived, the suspect ran towards him with the knife or sharp object, stabbing him multiple times. I don't know if that's a weapon that he brought with him, a knife, or if it's something that he picked up from the home.
Do you know where the suspect was shot?
I do not know. I just know that he was shot at least one time on his body.
How many total officers were inside the residence when this escalated to its highest point? I mean, you mentioned a couple of officers were injured, so were there 2 in there, 3 in there?
The officers, we had 8 officers total at the end of the incident, but for the first officer arrived and then they all started arriving apart, but total we had 8 officers actively engaging the suspect at one point.
And I mentioned, do you guys all wear body cameras?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's all
So
recorded, or-
yes, per policy we have body cams, and they officers do have them turned on when they respond to an incident. As you know, sometimes because things happen so quickly, they might not have time. But I believe that we should have body cam.
Have you
How
had a
scary is
chance
that?
to collect any home surveillance video yet?
Our detectives are working on that, so if we have that, we'll share that with you later.
But there's really kind of an indication where you get a call and you don't know what you're walking into, or they don't know who they're going to confront, or, I mean, it sounds like that's kind of what we had here, where they didn't really...
Yeah, they didn't know. I mean, we respond to these calls frequently. Burglary in progress, you never know what you're going to get. For the most part, burglars want to go in and they want to leave as quickly as possible. They don't want to get caught. This guy, I don't know what he was thinking. Obviously, he didn't want to get arrested, and he decided to fight, and he tried to kill one of our officers.
And
So-
the homeowners had already escaped the house by then? The person
I don't know if they were still inside or if they were outside.
To be clear, officers were dispatched after he entered this house, or were they already en route after the other?
My understanding is officers were already at the scene at other places that had reported the burglary in progress, and that's why they arrived so quickly to this one. As they were investigating another one, this one came in progress, so they quickly came over here, and that's where they found the suspect.
Sergeant, can you share the name of the 2 officers that were injured?
Right now, I'm not sharing that information. I don't know if their families have been notified. The last thing I want is for them to find out through the media. So that would be, so at least right now, we won't be releasing that information.
Were there any obvious signs that the suspect was under the influence of anything?
I don't know that yet.
One of the neighbors spoke to people that were in the home and said that they tried to communicate with this guy, but he didn't seem like he was all there. Any information you can share on that, or is that been shared with you of actually his stature at the time?
Yeah, his state of mind has not been shared with me. That's something that we'll gather later, and it's going to be part of a next update.
Do you know, like, was this extremely quick that it occurred, the fight, or was it kind of drawn out?
No, it's these things happen very quickly.
Like
They,
seconds?
oh, yes. I don't have a exact timeline of this one, but they happen within seconds of each other.
Can you tell me where the suspect was wounded? Because you said he's in stable condition now.
Yeah.
So where were those shots?
Again, I don't know exactly where on his body he was shot. I just know that he was shot at least one time on his body. I don't know if it was more than one, but I know at least one shot. And I don't know where the exact location of that wound.